Sorry about that.
Holy what in the world are those?
These are military classroom training rifles.
I checked them out. They're not loaded.
You know, that gun really doesn't look small next to you.
That's what she said.
I decided to go into the pawn shop today, try to sell my 2x scale training rifles. These things are way too big to be real. They are exact replicas of the guns they represent. They're just big. They were used by the military to train GIs on how to disassemble and field strip and cycle their guns. They are cut away so you can see the guts of it.
All right, let's set these things up here so I can take a look at them. All right, let's try and flip it over here.
Okay.
So I can, okay, this is the cutaway part.
That's the cutaway part.
Just lay it down real easy here. I don't want to break no glass. My God, these things are huge. I can only imagine if the cops saw you getting these things out of your car in the parking lot.
Man, it was crazy going across the Hoover Dam with these. Fortunately, I had some paperwork showing what they were.
Just when I thought I seen it all, these two giant things come walking in the door. I've never seen a set of guns so big. I mean, they probably weigh 50 pounds apiece. So how did you get these?
Back in the early 60s, my granddad had an aluminum foundry, and a fella showed up with 2 truckloads of them, selling them for scrap aluminum. And my father talked his dad into pulling out a few that he could play with, and they melted the rest down.
So you melted down 2 truckloads of these?
Melted down anywhere from 40 to 60 is the best estimate.
So when you were a kid, did you actually play with these?
Oh, absolutely. We would line them up and point them at cars going down the road.
I can only imagine the kind of trouble I would have got into if I was a kid pointing these guns at cars on the Vegas Strip. The old man would have kicked my ass.
So what did you want to do with them?
Well, I was hoping you'd offer to buy them from me.
Did you have any idea what you wanted for them?
$10,000 to $12,000 each.
I couldn't come near that.
Well, what can you give me for them? Make me an offer. I don't want to go across the Hoover Dam with these things again.
This is your problem running into something like this. It's finding a customer to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would offer you like $1,000 a piece, and I don't think you're gonna take that.
Nah,
Okay.
can't do that. Give me $5,000 for them.
No, I'll give you $2,500 for the pair, and I don't even know why the hell I'm buying them. They're gonna be difficult to sell. This is a pig in a poke if I've ever seen one.
All right, sorry we couldn't make a deal.
Sorry, man.
I really wanted these training guns. I could see a gun enthusiast hanging these over his fireplace, but I just don't know if I could profit from them at that price. And if I don't know for sure, I generally don't buy them.
Hey, what you got here?
I got a World War II bomber jacket.
Hey, boss, come check this out.
Can't you do it by yourself?
I never bought one.
Some people's children.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my World War II bomber jacket. I'm looking to get $2,500 for it, but the least I'll take is $1,000. I'd like to sell it because I'm a pretty big guy and it's not gonna fit me.
Where'd you acquire this, son?
My dad was actually in World War II. He was a Tech 5 in the Army.
I got news for you. It's not a bomber's jacket.
Okay.
You can tell it's a cargo pilot's jacket due to the camel and the elephant patches. And it's from the hump.
Okay.
It was a supply route from India to China over the Himalayas. The elephant stands for the cargo. The camel is for the hump. They were flying DC-3s. They had a ceiling of 12,000 feet. They had to go up to 18,000 feet to get over the hump. A lot of them crashed. Cargo pilots getting supplies to the troops was the way to win the war. Soldiers can't do much without bullets in their guns and food in their belly. On the back, you got the American flag and the Chinese flag, and then you got the writing where if they crash, they ask the locals to help them out. This guy flew 60 missions, which is unheard of. I think this is the first cargo pilot's jacket I've had. Most World War II collectors are looking for bomber jackets, but this is still a nice vintage piece. What are you asking for it, sir?
I'm looking to get $2,500 out of it.
No, if this was a bomber jacket, retail, it would go for about $2,500. I'll go up to $600.
I know it's a World War II jacket. It's got a lot of history behind it. How about $1,000?
No, because that's probably about what I'm gonna sell it for. I can't pay more for it than what it's worth.
Would you go 800?
Well, how about you meet me in the middle at 7, and we'll call it a deal.
I go 750 and it's yours.
You got a deal, sir.
Go write it up, boss.
No. Get your butt over there and do it.
His first offer of 600, I thought it was pretty low. We ended up settling on 750, and it was fair for me.
How you doing? What do you have here?
Mate, how are ya? I'm not entirely sure. From the research I've done online, I think it's a World War II mortar device, something to do with that.
Do you know what these even are right here?
I have no idea what these are. They're all different sizes.
I mean, they're shaped like bullets, some type of projectile. These come undone here.
Maybe you put your love letter in there and shoot it to your loved one.
If you're shooting this to your loved one, I think you're trying to get rid of them.
I think what I have is a World War II mortar training device. I acquired it when a relative passed away who collected a bunch of different things. And this stood out to us because it was just massive, it was heavy, it looked really cool. So I'm looking to get roughly around $1,000 for this. The lowest I'll take is probably around the 700s.
It definitely looks badass. Basically, a mortar's just a mobile piece of artillery that fires out a projectile. And these were used a lot in World War II because there was a lot of trench warfare going on.
Right.
And this allowed you to stay inside of the trench. You know, you had this long barrel, you could shoot up from over the trench, and you could stay down there with your helmet on and stay protected. So mortars were a really big part of wars back then. Today, not so much with airstrikes and how stealth planes are now and how efficient they can bomb stuff.
Right.
So it kind of does look like a mortar. This looks like the stand here. It probably gets clamped in right side here, and I'm not sure what's going on here, you know? Maybe these go in there or something, and this goes in there.
I was a little scared to try and put it together myself because I thought I'd shoot the house down or someone.
Do you know if it works?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because if it works, that's a big part of how much
Yep.
it's actually worth, you know?
Right.
When a collector buys something like this, they want to know that it works, not even that they're going to go shoot it and fire
Yeah.
it. Just knowing that it works adds more value to it.
Totally.
How much are you looking to get?
I'm hoping maybe around 1,000.
Okay, I know it's not out of the realm to ask that much for this or to even get that much for him, but give me a few minutes. I'm going to call someone down here and see if he can tell me what we got going on here.
No worries.
Take a few pictures and then I'll be gone.
So someone's coming in to have a look at it and hopefully explain to me exactly what it is, and I'm pretty excited about that. I want to know what this thing can do and what it's made for and see what I can bump that price up to.
I think I have a mortar here.
This is a World War II mortar. This is what was known as the M1 mortar. Mortars were extremely important in World War I. When they set up mortars, they could reach the far trenches and the mortars would land behind the lines. That would take out a lot of people at once. The thing about these mortars is if they were completely original, they would be considered a destructive device and be illegal. This one, I can tell that the tube is original, but this part that's black, we call that the base cup, that's a reproduction. So it's actually completely inert and legal to sell. And see that little base plate? So this actually is an original base plate, that this goes on there, and then these little feet dig into the dirt. Usually the base plates are this big. This is what people refer to as a commando base plate. And the reason they say that is because they were much more lightweight and they were designed for faster movement. Did you have the other base plate?
No, didn't have the bigger base plate. This is all that I could find that sort of belonged to this set.
Okay. And that's really cool. This is what you call a subcaliber training set. So in World War II, they realized that, mortarmen really needed to be trained well because there was a lot that went to it. And so these rounds are much, much smaller than a typical projectile would be. So they were a very safe way to train mortarmen on how to use them. This barrel actually inserts in there and you drop it down. It goes all the way to the bottom, hits the cap, goes up, comes down, and makes a big pop when it lands. This actually is much more rare than the mortar, although both have value. So you've never tried it?
I've never tried it. I was too scared I was going to blow something up.
These won't blow anything up. They do make some noise, but it's kind of like a really cool, like, cap gun.
How much do you think it's worth?
In this condition, with the commando base plate, which isn't as desirable as a normal base plate, I think you get $1,500 for it.
Okay.
I think if we could actually test it, if that's all works, I think you would get, you know, maybe $3,500, maybe $4,000. It just depends.
Do you want to go out and fire it?
As much as I'd love to see this thing go bang, I just don't have time to come out and test it.
All right, well, thanks for coming out.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right, since we don't know if it works or not, I'd give you $400 for it.
I was really looking to try and get close to that 1,000, so if you can go a little bit further.
I go 6, that's gonna be max for me.
I don't think I can leave it for 6. Can you give me 750?
It's gonna be a hard sell, you know? It's gonna sit around here for a long time. 650, we got a deal. We'll split it in the middle.
All right,
All right,
done.
let's go do some
Cheers.
paperwork.
And I was hoping this item was gonna make a little bit more of a bang, but I'm gonna settle for 650.
What is that?
It's a mortar set.
This is for learning how to use a real mortar.
No, this is a real mortar, but this is the practice set with the real mortar.
Okay, how much did we pay for this?
$650.
Did you talk to Alex about it?
Yeah, I had Alex come by, check it out. He really, really liked it. He said that it could be worth up to $4,000 if it works.
Did you test it out?
I haven't had a chance to. I just bought it. The guy I bought it from didn't have time to go to the range.
Okay, so we have to test it out just to figure out what it's worth.
Sure.
Do you want to come?
I can't.
Why not?
I've got a lot of work around here. You've been slacking lately, and someone needs to pick up all the slack around here.
Really?
You've been taking a lot of vacations, going to a lot of lunches.
Have a great day, chum.
No, don't worry, Rick. I'll put this away.
How's it going?
Good. So, I think I know what I'm doing. I went and I got some 22 blanks.
Yep. Grab the blanks. Oh, you set up a target?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Got a ring.
Oh, we gotta hit the bullseye?
Yeah.
This is what they call like the target. So that will be the pop when it lands, and the propellant side is over here. So the cool thing about these is they have like a selector to how far it'll launch. So a small hole means it goes further because most of the propellant goes down. A large hole out the side means it goes shorter. All right, so we'll go for like a medium distance and then we can sight it in.
So here's 22 blank.
So you put that face down.
Put that in there.
Yep. Then this is screwed back on. And then you put one in the head, and this will make the final landing crack.
Okay. So now we screw everything together.
Screw it all together.
And then you just drop it in, right?
And you get your hand out of the way so you don't lose a finger.
We get you out of the way real quick.
Yep. So let's put glasses on.
Okay. Here we go. Fire in the hole.
Nice. Good flight. Get up there.
Well, that was anticlimactic. But hey, it shoots. So it works and everything. Has all the parts. What's it worth?
The mortar by itself, because it's complete, about $2,000, and the kit, it's got all the parts, it totally works. Another $2,000, $4,000.
$4,000.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great, but it pisses me off a little bit because Chum actually did a good thing.
I'm surprised he got it that cheap.
All right, so super cool. Let's keep on firing this thing, dude. Well, eventually we'll hit the target.
I know. All right, let's sight it in. It's our mortar training.
Yeah.
Nice!
Hey, how's it going?
I've got a World War II combat art.
Hold on one second. I actually have this thingy over here. Here we go. Throw it on there. All right. And who painted it?
Benton Henderson Clark, dated 1943.
From the looks of the back of it, the age is round right. That was like in the 1930s, they started using staples. They weren't galvanized yet. You can tell because they always rust. You know, like the first Playboy?
Sure.
There's a lot of fakes out there. The one way you always tell is the staples are always rusted.
I don't have too many old Playboys. So. I'm here at the pawn shop to sell my Benton Henderson Clark oil painting. It's a great piece with a lot of combat action. I'm selling the painting because my wife says it's time to downsize so we can enjoy our retirement.
Well, it's interesting. Where did you get this?
Got it from an Iowa picker about 40 years ago.
Okay, so it's Benton Henderson Clark, and I know he did mostly like cowboy art, stuff like that, but I've never seen him do World War II stuff. And he was one of those guys not really considered an artist. He was an illustrator.
Right.
I'm not beating down your stuff here, but
No.
it looks like it was painted quickly.
Well, it's his style.
Yeah. And it says Benton Clark, right?
Yeah, 1943.
And this is supposed to be Palermo, or?
I think it's the invasion of Sicily with the palm trees and just the uniforms they're wearing and the Sherman tank.
Okay. How much you want for it?
I'd like to get $5,000 for it. I've seen some comparable artwork that he's done, and it ranges from several thousand up, so.
I don't know how much Benton Clark goes for. I know a teeny bit about him, and that's usually a really dangerous thing when it comes to art. Do you mind if I have someone look at it? I have an art expert I work with, so let me call my buddy. He will know a lot more than I do.
Okay, great.
Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna make a phone call.
All right, sure. Well, I've got no problem with an expert coming in. I know the painting's real and try to get as much as I can for it.
So this is it. I know Benton Clark was an illustrator, but what I remember in my head is cowboy stuff.
Right. Benton Henderson Clark was a very accomplished artist, but was never a very famous artist.
Okay.
His main body of work is Western themes. This is unusual because of the World War II, but some of his most valuable paintings have been outside of the Western theme. So what would you like to know?
Well, first off, I mean, is it actually a legitimate painting by the artist? And there's a little bit of damage to it. He wants $5 grand for it. I have no idea if it's worth that kind of money.
The stretchers on the back, the canvas is right. His signature looks right. The style down here is very much his style. I think it's definitely a legitimate painting. But my concerns with this painting is you do have some light cracking. This one doesn't feel quite as finished out as some of them that I've seen. Like, this is highly articulated, but when you come over here to the palm trees, it feels like he's kind of quit in the airplanes. So this is nice, but it's not one of his best works.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
It's tough. I would say auction, maybe 1,800, retail, maybe 2,500, 3,000.
Okay, thanks, man, I appreciate it.
Good luck. Nice to meet you.
Sure, thank you.
Well, 5,000 is not gonna happen. It's art, so it usually hangs out a while. Very few people in the world know who this guy is. And I'd give you like $1,000 for it.
I don't think I'd let it part for that. You gotta twist my arm.
I mean, I'll twist your arm at $1,100. I mean, it's gonna be very difficult to sell this painting, okay? It's a very limited market. There's damage to it. I have to get it framed. And it could quite possibly sit there for a while. I don't know, I mean.
You know, honestly, I don't think so. There's a big market for World War II items. Anytime a good movie comes out, then boom, there you go.
Movies don't necessarily make things sell.
Well,
It's
everybody
a lot of
wants
money. It's
a piece of history. It's a one-of-a-kind item.
If you take away all the emotion and it comes down to dollars and cents, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, how about 2 G's on it?
Okay, I'll go $1,200.
Make it 15 and you got a deal.
I'll go $1,300.
How about 1350?
I'll go $1,300.
All right.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you twisted my arm.
Okay. I'll meet you right over there.
Okay.
I didn't think you would take it. Cool.
The negotiation was a battle, but I think we're both happy with the outcome.
Hey, how's it going?
So you got an old green box.
It's a World War II Navy phone system. In battle, the entire phone system could be knocked out with one shot. You would need something like this to continue communications.
If they took out the communication system, they probably took out the entire ship.
The phone system was handed down from my aunt. Communication on a ship, especially during battle, is critically important. I'd like to get 4,000 today. It's in great condition, and I think the guys are going to be very interested.
I spent time on Second World War destroyers. This is a portable supplement system. Let's say a flag officer came aboard with his staff. They brought their own phone system. All of them had a phone in their staterooms.
Okay, so if somebody else came on the ship, you know, somebody important, then they would bring this on and they would wire it up so he was part of the phone system too.
It's completely original, completely intact.
There were no cellular phones or Wi-Fi on board ship back in the day. Everything had to be hardwired in. But I'll tll you what, your calls didn't get dropped like they do now.
Any idea what you want to get out of it?
$4,000 is a very fair price for something like this.
Here's a problem I have with it. World War II collectors don't collect phone systems and stuff. They buy a piece to display it. This is so huge, it would be almost impossible for someone to display it in their home or their rec room or whatever.
Well, this piece is obviously so pristine that somebody's going to want to do something with it.
Granted, if I bought it, do I think over the next 10 years I could sell it? Probably. But it's not what I want to tie up my money in.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate it, man, but there's nothing I can do for you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think he made a mistake. They really didn't know what they had. He missed a very big opportunity.
What do we got here? This is a World War II original panoramic photo of the Las Vegas Army Airfield in 1944.
It took so many people to make those planes fly. This is probably a squadron of 10 planes. Look how many people's involved.
Wow.
I've always been fascinated by World War II. I believe the people who fought in it are heroes. We really need some work done on our house, so I had to sell some of my collection. I was hoping to get 500, but I'd probably take 200.
So where'd you get this?
I believe I bought it at an antique shop. I'm a teacher, and this is the kind of thing I would bring into my classroom if I was talking about World War II and the sacrifice that the men made. The guys had to fly at least 25 combat missions over Germany, and in some cases, over half the guys never came back.
I remember my father walking up to the front door when he came home from the war. I was a kid. It felt great.
This was a great time in American history. I mean, this was a war that literally every single person did something in the United States to contribute.
These men went through hell and back to make our country what it is today. That's why they're called the greatest generation. These days, I can't even get these kids to go to the store and back unless there's something in it for them. These look like B-17s to me. I'm almost certain that's what they are.
Didn't you and Chumley just fly in one of those not too long ago?
Yeah, we flew one out at North Las Vegas Airport. It was a little shake, rattle, and roll, but it was comfortable enough I got to take a nap, Corey.
That's because you can sleep anywhere. It's always cool to see photos from World War II. And the fact that this one was actually taken in Las Vegas makes it perfect for a shop. But unfortunately, just because it's a part of history doesn't really make it worth big bucks. So, how much were you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get $500 for it.
I'd like to have it, but I ain't gonna pay no $500.
You rode in one of these.
Yeah?
And I can get on a computer right now and print him out a picture if he wants one that bad. I mean, to be realistic with you, my man, I mean, we're talking maybe $40, $50 here.
Well, you know, you've got World War II. Las Vegas doesn't look like this anymore, so you've got, you know, your Las Vegas people are gonna want it. I could go 400.
It would be a hard sell. I would like to have it just to hang it in the store. I'm gonna push it up to 75, but that's the top of the mark, Corey.
How about 300? You're never gonna find one like this.
Look, I'll push it up to a $100 bill because I'd like to have it, but I ain't going no damn higher. You either take the 100 or you walk home with it.
How about you meet me halfway? I said 3.
I met you as far as I can meet.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to walk out with it.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
There's just no way I would have taken $100. I really think they could have got $500 for it, but that's okay. I'm just gonna have to sell some other things to get the money to remodel my home now.
So what do we got here?
Well, these are posters advertising for people to buy war bonds.
Yeah, the crazy thing about these is they really didn't pay much. I think they paid 3 or 4% interest.
Well, that's a better return than people are getting today.
Yeah.
I'd take that. I'm coming into the pawn shop today to try to sell some war bond posters from World War II. They've been in the family for years. I got no place to display them, and I really would like to sell them. I just retired and bought a little farm, and I need to buy pig feed and chicken feed. During the Second World War, my mom worked in a department store while my dad was in the Army overseas, and they would put these up, you know, on the wall to try to encourage people to buy war bonds. She asked if she could have them when they finished with them. And they've been in my mom's cedar chest for 60 years.
In World War II, the government needed money bad. And the only way to get that money was to sell bonds, and they needed to sell a lot of them.
This one I think is really cool because it looks like a war bond.
Yeah, these are in great shape. Usually these were like taped to a window in a store.
Right.
Or, you know, have thumbtack holes in them so they put them up on a wall in a store, wherever they were selling them. And no one really thought to save them either. Most of these just got thrown out.
Yes.
Because you'll look at the dates on them. See, this was a 43.
43.
Okay,
wow.
So if you were selling war bonds, every few months they would have gave you new posters. It's just like any advertising. They want to keep it fresh and new.
Sure.
So, I mean, like, this one would have got thrown away and one like this would have been put up. This stuff was never
They didn't
intended to
care.
last more than 6-7 months.
If you still had any of the war bonds, would they have any value?
The war bonds?
Yeah.
Yes, every U.S. bond ever issued is still worth money.
My goodness.
Unless it was issued by the Confederacy.
Oh, darn. That's what happened to us. We didn't have a war bond.
So what do you want to do with them?
Well, I'd really like to sell them.
The reason I want to buy these war bond advertisements is because they're Americana, and Americana sells.
Do you have any idea what you wanted for them?
I was thinking, just from what I'd seen, $250, $5. I thought that one would be worth more, and this one would be worth more. I don't think I found that one either. So I was going to say they ought to be worth $1,200.
The interesting thing about World War II advertisements, a lot of them were done by famous artists. The only problem is, it's really hard sometimes to figure out who did what.
These are definitely rarer than these two. Okay, these were standard size posters. I've seen them 100 times. They made more of them.
My only concern with these posters is 2 of them are common. They're not worth that much money. However, the other 2, I've never seen, so they could be rare.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, I'm really thinking I could give you like $400 for them. I mean, that would be my top.
Sure, I understand.
Okay, and I have to resell it, so, and I got to make some money off it.
Well, you know, that's fine, because they're better off you frame them, sell them to somebody that will appreciate them rather than fold it up in a box in my house.
Okay.
Okay, that's a deal. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do the paperwork.
All right.
I really think I got a good deal. The 2 known posters, I know what I can get out of them. The 2 unknowns, that's a shot in the dark. I could make a lot of money, I could make no money. Only time will tell.